in a mix.
The best music in the world. The best.
Best music.
My favorite station.
Ghana Talks Radio.
GTR News. GTR News. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
It's a pleasant day and I welcome you to the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Sandra Asante. Top stories. Tema High Court grants Oliver Barker-Vormawor a 2 million cedis bail. Also, fuel prices to hit 11 cedis per litre from today, March 16th. President Zelensky says negotiations and peace talks sound more realistic. These are more stories after the break. Stay tuned.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
You're most welcome back from the break to a first story. The High Court is expected to rule on hashtag Visit Country Convener Oliver Barker-Vormawor's application for bail today, March 16, 2022. On Monday, the Tema High Court adjourned the case after the Attorney General opposed the move, urging that Barker-Vormawor had no fixed residence in Ghana and therefore rendering it impossible to conduct a search by the investigation team. But later, the Tema High Court proceeded over by Justice Daniel Mensah has granted lead convener for the hashtag Face the Country movement, Oliver Barker-Vormawor, a bail to the tune of 2 million cedis during the determination of a bail application today, March 16, 2022, brought before court by lawyers of Oliver. The 2 million bail comes with two sureties, which one of them is required to deposit document to his landed properties to the court in fulfillment of the bail terms. Honorable Richard Owusu, a founding member of the MPP and aspiring chairman for the Achiwa in Kobiaja South constituency, has called on MPP fraternity, especially the communicators and polling station members, to be ambassadors of proclaiming the good programs and policies of the MPP government. According to him, MPP as a party performs excellently whenever in power, but due to lack of information flow, the populace are unable to know the railroads made. He deduced that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's government has tremendously performed in all sectors of the economy and deserves continuity to break the jinx of the power of governance with which it has become annually 2 terms.
Makwadare amanyosemu efi 1991 ana yebeti MPP ba power eniyama ayeye no yempanimfo no yentimi mo ho dawu so ena tembia no watim wakam ne wantwantwen so wo party no saade no
GTR News. The news others choose.
Niedo titru wo ba enya sam ketwa ya sa ka ho bi a ya to apetane a ye ya tembia no no ema wo hwe ana ya rekosem pa tim wakam no na de aban no ye no ye hwe so fo enhwe de want ye na onte de ni wira fie nso so no ye nkai no.
Afterwards, asked what strategy should be adapted to make the party in 2024 calls on reconciliation within other rank and file of the party, especially of ongoing polling stations elections and subsequent elections as well for the party's progress.
What the idea be by say reconciliation. No, what Tim Wakame, where MC, J. Akufo-Addo the Saudi and by Emma, we see on mine. Sebeya or my money nyina kwa no yebeka bom ni akekere o man fi say yi Ghana man firi ho no ma yi ni o man bia o ba bia ye kɔ hom yekum enti no saa watimi wakame no efa so no efiri tumi we na sefata we na emfa ema no we na nsa nkɔ bio won kɔ on oppose saa niama ni nyina no eho se yetimi hwɛ na mpanini bi ba akodwa tɔ a ati babia no bepre ombia ne dia onka ye nyina mo ya party no MPP party na me kwa chairman madi nkunim.
To the next story, Information Minister Oppong Nkrumah has charged academia as well as media practitioners to utilize the RTI Law Act 989 to obtain reliable information from state institutions for their work. Answering questions in Parliament on Tuesday, Mr. Nkrumah said the law, which imposes an obligation on public institutions to provide information to applicants, is being underutilized. The minister was providing updates on the progress of the implementation of the law since its inception in 2020 on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, March 15, 2022. President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has pointed out that some foreign elements are neck-deep in regime-changing moves in Africa to serve as pressure interests. Ghana's leaders made these known on Tuesday, 15th of March, when he opened a forum in Coups in Africa. He expressed worry over the re-emergence of coups in Africa, calling for their condemnation and suppression. Recent coups in Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and a failed one in Guinea-Bissau has been a matter of worry to West African leaders. As the start of an emergency meeting of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in January, Ghana's leader, who is also the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government, charged leaders to nip coups in the bud. The Commissioner for Political Affairs for Peace and Stability of the African Union, Barker-Vormawor, also had this to say at the ceremony.
GTR News. GTR News. GTR News.
You are still tuning to the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. Away from the local stories, business and prices of petroleum products were from Wednesday, March 16th, experience a significant surge as consumers are expected to pay 11 Ghana cedis per litre. The bulk oil distributors has blamed the situation or the volatility on the market as well as the rising cost of crude oil on the international market. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has seen oil prices rise to the highest level in more than a decade and is on the verge of hitting new record, with crude prices predicted to reach as high as $185 a barrel. According to the chief executive, Hon Owusu, the city, which is depreciating among the major trading currencies, is also a factor for the rise in the price of commodities. Hon Owusu, however, noted that the central bank has been very proactive and cooperative with industries and have been working on ways to help mitigate the impact of these key commodities.
Product. Absolutely. Not really with crude, but with the products on a metric ton basis. You actually breaking the 10, and likely breaking the 11 as well. It was subject to which product and how the
GTR News.
margins on their current prices. The BBC prices, like I said, they are just quite indicated. Although for some breaking the 10, some are almost doing the same. What you see from the OMT's publication is quite reflective of what the market situation is. And I think a big chunk of it has to do with some of the uncertainties around the freight situation and also our currency issues. But the central bank has been very, very proactive and cooperative within that way. And we've been working on ways to help mitigate the impact on the key commodity as the petrol.
So, just for clarity, you're saying that at the pumps, going forward to the next pricing window, even before that, as you're hearing, you're confirming that we should expect something that is possibly break 11 cedi a litre?
Yeah, it's very.
To our next business story, the re-elected chairman of GTR Petty Traders Association, Nana Akufo-Addo, has made passionate appeal to the key stakeholders in the region to help make various satellite markets in Kumasi and its adjoining municipalities very viable to help reduce pressure and human traffic of doing business in the central business district of Kumasi. Some of these satellite markets he mentioned are Krofo Market, Asasawasi Market, Atosu Market, Tafo Market, Kwadaso Market, and Swami Market, which he thinks can accommodate the number of traders without coming to the central business district in Kumasi.
Monyam shena mikuma no amame but me so me hu ne se eye asudie ekese sanse oba Kumasi krodua mu hanoma edwadie eye ade a edi akotene pa eti ase ayibia efadwadifo hu bia no potoka se be kase very sensitive but sabre ya me manfo edi tumi na mame no niema mienu edwadifo ye ne wo yasede a esese ye ena assembly a yenso edi edwumadi wo mu no nso wo masede a esese ye eti edwadifo no afemu no ye behwe se assembly enhyehyeye a omaye edi afa edwadie ho no ye be kyerɛkyerɛ ye manfo a yedi wo manim na omode sa nhyehyeye no aye adwuma na ebiem nso me de me ne edwadifo enkabom ko panyimfo ahodo a ewokumase ebe pre aka bom na yetimi ebusi assembly no na other satellite markets no me de major concern ye other satellite markets ewokumase krodua mu anma enye viable no yebema assembly na hunu yebe kyerɛ wo mo de ye wo yi a ebetimi aboa ma these satellite markets no etimi aye viable na brebia dwadifo a egu kwan ho no at least yentimi ntu ase kra na ebetimi ama na akɔfom kra na aye nhyehyeye a ekwan no ntimi nye obi akɔno sɛ obetena kwan ho adidwa ti enu ye mani suade huna ene ya yasama mitumi mene dwadifo nkabumfo ahodo aka okroma no ebetimi aka bom na ya push that agenda a major agenda damakumaso.
If you just join us, this is the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio on the international front. Blasts were heard in the capital, Kiev, earlier this morning, according to social media report. The city's emergency service now says that a 12-story residential building in Shevchenko district was hit by Russian shelling at around 6 a.m. A neighboring 9-story building was also damaged. Authorities says they have added that 2 people were injured and 35 were evacuated from the building. The fire was put out at 7:45 a.m. and rescuers are now searching for survivors. Residents across the city remain hunkered down in bunkers, underground shelters, and their homes amid a 2-day curfew. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has indicated progress in the peace talks following Tuesday's runoff negotiation. In an address last night, Zelensky revealed the position in the negotiations already sounds more realistic, but he added that time is still needed for the decisions to be in the interest of Ukraine. Talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators are set to continue later. President Zelensky will also address U.S. Congress today. We move to Kenya, and more than 10 Kenyan soldiers have been killed by a roadside explosive in southern Somalia. 5 others were seriously injured when their vehicle ran over an improvised explosive device in the Jado region near the Kenyan-Somalia border. The names of the killed soldiers have not been revealed, but the former Kenyan presidential aspirant said on Twitter that his younger brother was among the dead. The attack has been blamed on the al-Qaeda-linked al-Shabab groups, which has carried out similar strikes against civilians and security convoys. The killed soldiers were part of the African Union mission in Somalia, a force deployed to the country to help the federal government fight the militants. We are in Nigeria, and the authorities in Nigeria's northeastern state of Borno says a lion has been killed by hunters in a remote area near the border with Cameroon. The carcass of the lion has been deposited at the government-run zoo in the state's capital, Maiduguri. The authorities says the lion was killed to prevent it from harming people. Local hunters often killed wild animals for their meat, stocks, or skin. The director of forestry and wildlife in the state, I'm talking of Ayuba Peter, told the BBC the lion might have strayed from the game reserves in neighboring Cameroon. Burkina Faso's born architect Diabedo Francis Kere has won this year's prestige Fresca Prize. Mr. Kere, 56, is the first African to win the award in its more than 40-year history, which is regarded as the highest honor in the field. He is a dual citizen of Burkina Faso and Germany. He said he was the happiest man of this planet to become the 51st recipient of the award. The architect's work include designs and national assemblies of Burkina Faso and Benin, which are yet to be built. In announcing the winner, the jury said the architect raises fundamental questions of the meaning of permanence and durability of constructions in the context of constant technological changes. To some entertainment story, fire has broke out on the film set at the Pinewood Studios Film and Television Production Center, Buckinghamshire. Fire and Rescue Service says that it was called to the Pinewood Road in the village of Iver Heath, just 15 GMT. It said there were 12 fire engines at the scene, including crews and Buckinghamshire Fire Station and the London Fire Brigade. The studio are known for shooting James Bond movie and Star Wars. We hope the burning of the studios will not cause us, more damages of not seeing another production like James Bond movie. This is why I end the afternoon news on Ghana Talks Radio. Thank you so much for joining me. You can log on to our website, www.ghanatalksradio.com, for more news update. My name is Sandra Asante. Stay tuned for the Sport Tidbit. Have a great afternoon.